Welcome to have a fire
chat with us, because it's almost 4 years that we have lived in our van.
full time.
Full time.
Our 4-year anniversary.
VANiversary.
It's VANiversary.
We sold our apartment 4 years ago and never looked back. And
It was the greatest decisions we have done in our entire life.
And it felt like crazy decision. It was really tough decision, of course, giving up everything that you have actually bought and everything that you owned. You just have to get rid of. But yeah, after we did it, it was really easy decision.
I'm glad that we didn't overthink it too much. We just decided to do this and go for it.
We thought this would be really hard life, but yeah, it wasn't.
And what I have learned from the van life is you don't need stuff and things around you.
Yeah, we actually sold everything that we owned. It was really easy after we have actually sold everything. We sold them on a flea market, Facebook market, with just a little bit of cash. For example, our laundry machine that was 2 years old, we sold it 40 euros.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of it. And that was the only purpose on selling things.
Yeah, and we managed to sell everything in few months. Even our apartment.
Yeah, it was the toughest one, but yeah, we all actually sold also that. And we had snakes. We also sold them to the good homes. That was actually
you cannot really put a snake inside of the van. Well,
there is one YouTuber with the snake, but
Elena, and he's rocking with it, but there's a climate change where we live and the van is shaking a lot and it's kind of a stress for the snakes, so we decided to sell the snakes and keep the puppies.
Yeah, 2 puppies.
The pups are traveling with us.
Yeah. Looking back, selling things and not owning things hasn't actually changed that much our lives.
We are not that crazy adventure couple that has crazy life and a lot of drama.
We are actually quite boring couple, making boring things, that's
I
it.
love boring life. I can just stare at the window, pretty view, whole day and do nothing and feel really happy.
I'm not that kind of. I have to do different kind of things and I cannot be doing nothing.
Johnny is more active, but I love being lazy and doing nothing.
But we are not climb the mountains and go surfing on the beach, and after that we go
swim with the sharks
and
fight with the bears and...
No, boring and
normal.
Simple things.
Yeah.
Going to the nature, enjoying the nature, the silence, and just normal life.
Normal, average, mundane things.
Naturally, people are really lazy, but nowadays the hectic life is making us
work like a slave, like modern slavery.
Yeah, and it sucks because all your power and all your energy goes going forward in the work. It eats you after a while because it takes so much about your daily life and all the things. So that's why getting to the nature and be there in the silence is good.
Contrast to the hectic work life, and we feel we are so privileged because we don't have to wait for the vacations to go camping, because after the work days the vacation starts.
Immediately I may go camping. For example, in Wednesday we can go place where we can make food on a live fire. It's 20 minutes drive from our work, and all that kind of things makes this lifestyle so good. Yeah.
So you can live in a van and work full time in a static job also.
So what do we miss about our
old lifestyle? Not much.
Not much.
Mainly because we feel this is like an apartment, because we have kind of nice bed here and bunch of cupboards, we have the heat, we have running water, we can take showers, we can use our toilet.
So there was some oven foods that we wanted to make, but we have the oven nowadays in our van, so...
Oven foods are the mainly thing that we miss.
Yeah, and when we moved to the van, actually we wanted to bring all the goodies from apartment life. So shower, running water, sewage,
Plumbing.
toilet, and all those things. We wanted to be that we have those in our van. So we live normal life in our van that we would live in an apartment.
4 years ago, when we planned this whole van living thing, we encountered the word stealth and stealth camping.
And that's really like a thing in YouTube at least, and on the blogs, and people are like I don't know.
Stealth camping fanatics.
Yeah, it's like a fantasy where you live in your van in stealth mode, and you can do it everywhere you want, and nobody knows that you are doing it.
Our van is clearly a camper van. It's a factory-made conversion van, and I don't understand that stealth vans, because if I imagine I would have to live in a stealth van in 4 years, we cook food here every day. So we want to open the door, or at least open these windows to let the steam out. So it would be really hard to live inside of your van, which is a small place, and you cannot show other people that you live there.
Imagine living in a
Cellar.
every day you are crawling from the window to the cellar, and that's your life. I don't know. Living that like 10 years in your cellar or dungeon, whatever you call it, it's not life really. And being stealth, yeah, it might be, you have to do it in a couple of cities in US, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think in those cities also, if you drive 10 minutes or 20 minutes from the city, you can actually find places to park your van.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have been heard that US is really good for actually van life. And yeah, you have 14 days camping limits in a B11 land. So you can be there 14 days. In Finland, it's 2 or 3 days you can camp in the same place,
Yeah.
maximum.
Then you have to move, and we have a freedom to roam.
Yeah, so
You should appreciate these things that you have. But stealth is so overrated, and people who stress about it are usually people who don't even live in their
the van,
vans.
or they started just living in their van.
And they have that stealth thing that they need to be stealth, and stealth is the thing to go, and blah blah blah. But everyone that lives in a car, they maybe buy a RV eventually, or they still live in their cargo van, but they figure out that stealth is kind of pointless because nobody really cares that you live in a car.
Yeah, it's same thing in Europe, in every country in Europe. You don't have to be stealth.
So there's a few rules that makes life easier. Move your spot quite often and keep your rig kind of clean looking so nobody complains.
So, is it hard living in your van? I think not.
No.
I think this is really easy way of living. We had lots of assumptions before we moved to a van that this is hard, and there's lots of complex things that you have to handle.
Like where to find a parking spot to spend the night.
Yeah, and it's everyday adventure to find the parking spot.
And struggle.
Yeah.
But no!
You know, I think after 4 years, wherever we go, we don't have to stress about finding a parking spot for the night, because, I don't know, you can always find a place. It might be that it's not a beautiful place, but it's still manageable, and it's nice
Safe
place.
and free.
Yeah. So,
Maybe you think some street and then you drive there and it's full. Well, then you just make a turn to left or right, and maybe there's an open spot for you.
Another assumption from us was that this is really this is not safe way of traveling or living, because there was lots of rumors going on that if you don't go to the camping grounds, that outside of camping grounds you will be robbed, and you will get rid of your things that you own. But
somebody steals your car when you are away, or like ridiculous stuff. Yes, you get some kind of van paranoia when you are away from your home. We understand that, and we feel that too. But it's no way to live if you stress that. We have done some security things to avoid that, but if it happens, it happens.
But chances for getting us robbed is really minimal, so it was just assumption that this is not a safe way of living.
Yeah.
Because it's really safe way of living. Because you can always choose where you spend your night.
And you can drive away. When you are in a house, you are trapped there. Now you just turn the key and drive away.
One assumption from us was that this is like owning a big house, and you have lots of things you need to upkeep, and they take a lot of time, and they are gross and
Take a lot of money and
yeah. But finally, when we moved to the van, it was not like that. It's like owning a little house, small house, where you're keeping up your house takes just a small amount of time. Filling up the tanks and all those kind of things, yeah.
it takes few minutes.
Yeah. So it's like going to the grocery store. Feels like it's automated for us. We don't have to actually think about
Yeah.
those things
It's
anymore.
just running errands.
Yeah. And yeah, running errands, and they don't take time. So after 4 years, we don't actually even think our water tanks or grey water, because everything comes from our backbones, that we do it when it needs to be done.
Yeah. And making some kind of renovation inside of the van is so much fun because the space is so small. So when we put the rock tile under the
Behind
wood
the
stove, we didn't have to look for the price. When you do renovations in a big house, you have to look the price. The amount of ingredients you use in a renovations inside of the car is so little that it doesn't matter if it's the most expensive paint or whatever, because you only use it tiny little bit. I love it.
yeah. But upkeeping this lifestyle is really easy. It doesn't take time. I think approximately with laundry and everything, it takes like maybe a bit over an hour in a week.
Yeah.
And laundry takes most of it.
So of course, if you have not owned a car before, it might come as a surprise that you need to buy a diesel for your car, you need to buy a insurance, you need to take a yearly maintenance. All these kind of things, they take money, but it's not a big cost when you live inside your van. Because when you have a car and a house, you have to pay the house and a car. Now it's just the car part.
Living in a van as a couple is it's not a nightmare. People think that living in this small space,
Tin can.
yeah, feels like you're living in a tin can with somebody else, but it's not that really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have been coping really well. We don't fight at all, or really.
Yeah. Not much.
Yeah.
There's no space to fight.
Yeah.
So you need to reconcile straight away, and you have to talk about if somebody or something irks you.
Because if you don't talk, then the other one is on your face. Like
Yeah.
here.
And the problem will boil and it will explode inside of the tin can, and it's not pretty sight. So it's not an option. You need to talk about.
Yeah.
Or if you need space, you need to say it.
When I'm on a computer doing things, I can actually block everything around me, so I don't see or hear anything. Actually, my coworkers are always laughing about the skill, because when I'm doing some work on a computer, I don't actually hear them walking on my office, or they are trying to talk me, and I was staring at the computer.
It's a good skill.
Yeah, and it's a cute skill when you're living in a van, because you can actually be on your own with somebody else.
Yeah, it's a good skill to learn. And you need to learn how to love yourself and be with yourself, because otherwise you will go mad if you live in a van.
Yeah, but we don't fight at all. Rarely we argue about things. For example, today we argued about if the German, peanuts are lowering your cholesterol or not. Yeah, walnuts are lowering your cholesterol.
I was right.
Yes, I was right. And those are kind of things we argue.
Yeah, because we both want to be right.
Yeah, and not real things.
Yeah.
We always talk about things. We always get through things if there's something that is not right or something.
Yeah, but of course when you live inside of the car or inside of a house or whatever with another person, you have to respect the boundaries and respect there's other people's stuff and everything, and you will make it work.
Yeah, and
It's
when
no
you
different.
live longer in a van, the boundaries are going lower and lower, and you can actually crawl in another space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, like, you need to be with your best friend.
That's true. But if I lived here alone, I would have so much more pillows. Now I only have like few because Janni hates pillows.
Yeah, I would get rid of all the pillows that we have in our van. Because we have now 3 extra pillows that are not used. They are just decorative.
Yeah, but I love my pillows. They're so cozy and comfy.
Yeah, of course there's some things that you have to always compromise. For example, I have now talked 2.5 years that we would install USB chargers here to our phones, and finally Sarah gave us a thumbs up that I can actually do the upgrade. So expectations about van life before we moved to the van. We expected that we will camp in the nature and make food in a live fire, and yeah, and actually
We do.
So you can make your van life as beautiful and whatever you want, because you have that freedom to move, and you have the freedom of driving places, and you have freedom to choose what you do.
Yeah. A lot of people say this Instagram hashtag van life photos, they are not real. Yeah, most of them are staged, but they could be real.
Yeah, and for example, we are in the middle of the nature. We are not showing our ass in the Instagram pictures, but yeah, those kind of places they exist, and if you are willing to drive more daily to get to those places, you can actually be there on the beautiful spots every day.
Yeah.
And for example, our 1 year travels through Europe, I think maybe 70% of our places that we spent at night was beautiful.
Yeah, we saw so much gorgeous, stunning places. So I would say Instagram pictures are very real.
Yeah, of course there's these corny pictures, but yeah, they are of course corny pictures because they are trying to promote, but
And
you can
they
make...
sell.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, why would you hate?
But you can make this lifestyle beautiful as you want.
Yeah.
And you are willing to do, because it might take little things you have to do. For example, drive to places or trying to scope the Google Maps for hour to get your next camping spot and these kind of things. But yeah, you can make your life, van life, as you want.
Yeah.
And it might be that the practical of the van life, so you don't have to commute to work, is the best thing for you in a van life. Then you just do it that way and be in a city.
Yeah. I agree. Often we park in the middle of the nature and these gorgeous places where there's no one around.
But also in cities we can actually have privacy in our van, because we have tinted windows, we have blinds in every window, so nobody can see here, so we can be here if we want, naked if we want. Yeah, so we thought that we would get rid of all the privacy that we have compared to apartment, but yeah, we have all the privacy that we want. We can close the blinds and we have tinted windows, so if we want, nobody can see inside.
Yeah, and we have pretty good setup here, because morning time when we wake up we can go to toilet and shower and brew a coffee and enjoy breakfast without leaving our car. And we can do that all butt naked if we choose to.
Yeah, and we stay much more inside our van than we thought. Yeah.
That's mainly because of the weather, and
Yes.
we are in Nordic Europe where it's pretty cold. Well,
So-
winters are cold and summers can be kind of shitty too.
So in the winter time you don't want to be outside for whole day. So
It's miserable.
yeah, so we love and like to spend time in our van.
Yeah. I love our van. When I come from the work, I'm like dying to get inside of the van. And I know everything is clean and spotless when we have cleaned the van, and I love that our dogs are here, and it's so cozy and comfy to come here every time.
Yeah, and that's one thing also we assumption that this is like a dirty way of life.
And
that
filthy.
So there's always dirt inside, and everything is
Dust,
covered in
yeah.
dust. But yeah, no.
There's sand if we have parquet next to the sand. The floor is full of sand, but you can just swipe it and it takes a few seconds.
Yeah.
Voila!
Voila.
All the filth is gone.
Yeah, and it takes the whole van to clean up from the top to the bottom, maybe 20 minutes. So we can upkeep this van
And keep
clean
it
and
nice
spotless.
and, yeah, nice and tidy all the time.
Because we think the clean van is a happy van.
And when you live in a van, the whole world is your backyard.
Mm.
It sounds such a cliche, but it's such a true.
Whole word.
Koko
Sana.
maailma. Whole world, maailma.
Word. Something.
Word.
Word. Some would say that we are like leeches living off somebody else's assets, but yeah, I can get it that, but there is things that are free in the world. One thing is that you can actually spend time places.